Hello and welcome to the United Stand. This is your Manchester United transfer news daily, talking all the latest Manchester United transfer news and giving it that real fan input. We'll also be continuing with something we started yesterday, this obscure sort of unknown signing. We're going to give you one every single day. Probably won't happen, but just a little bit of a, like I say, a little bit of an obscure signing. But the Eric Bailly player of the day, I think we'll call that. I like that. But let's get straight into it. Jose Mourinho has handed Ed Woodward, reportedly, a four-man list. He wants two strikers for Manchester United next season. Rashford and Martial will form two of those four spots. Rooney and Zlatan will obviously go, and he wants four strikers. Going back to the past in a way, where we've had the Solskjaers, the Cole, the Sheringham and the Yorks, and then back obviously when we had like Berbatov, Tevez, Ronaldo, Rooney, Saha, and Ronaldo was more of a winger in those days. But yeah, I think if you want to be a title winning side, you want to win the Champions League, you want to be competitive, you do need four strikers, four options, four different options. So Rashford and Martial potentially already here at the club, and two further others. Mourinho's handed to Woodward a list of four. That four, as you could probably guess by the first name at the bottom, is Kylian Mbappe, Antoine Griezmann, Andrea Belletti, and Antoine. There's two of him. We're buying two, and Romelu Lukaku. I just don't like to talk about Lukaku. You know, I don't really fancy Lukaku that much. But it's that four. He's not going to sign all four. There is four top targets apparently, of which he wants to get two of those. I mean, what are your thoughts on that straight away? What are your thoughts? Mbappe, Griezmann, Lukaku, Bellotti. For me, it would be Griezmann and Bellotti. Mbappe. I just think Mbappe is Rashford and Martial. He's a young striker who we need a little bit more experience than that, I think. I think he's going to be a fantastic talent. He's already flirted with Real Madrid more than us, which puts me off slightly. So yeah, it would be definitely Bellotti. 25 goals in 32 games is pretty impressive. I just like him. He reminds me of sort of a mixture between sort of like an olden style Vialli, Inzaghi, a really striker really. He's quite strong. He's got a good little bit of pace on him, good finish off both feet. I think he'd do well in the Premier League. But Mbappe, let me just go back to that actually, because there was something yesterday from Didier Deschamps basically advising him not to go to Manchester United. The old water carrier talking again. I mean, Cantona burned him years ago, telling him that he was just a useless water carrying midfielder. He's then ruined Martial, didn't he, at the Euros, not really using him now, not picking him for France, which is, I think, has been a contributing factor to Martial as well. That not only has he had a difficult season at Manchester United, I don't know why I'm talking that, but also he's been snubbed by France, who should get rid of Deschamps. He's rubbish. So I wouldn't listen to him, Kylian, if you do watch the United Stand. I've heard that you do. Don't be listening to your French coach. Listen to us. Come and sign. But no, seriously, Demarcio said that we want Mbappe. Let's see what happens with that. It doesn't surprise me that he potentially is in a four-man list for Mourinho. But the only thing with Mbappe is I just think he's young, and I'd like to get somebody a bit more experienced, which is why I would go for Bellotti over Mbappe. Lukaku is Lukaku, obviously, but Premier League striker, Premier League proven, which I've always said is quite important. But I can't help but go back into the past and think, well, you know, Kevin Phillips was a very good Premier League striker. Darren Bent was a very good Premier League striker. John Hartson was a very good Premier League striker. Would I ever have had them at Manchester United? No, I wouldn't. I think Lukaku, in fairness, is better than that. And I think if Mourinho goes for Lukaku, then I wouldn't have too much of an issue with it. But, and it's a big but, I just don't think he is. I don't think he's good enough for United, and I don't think he is a top echelon striker. Griezmann, I want Griezmann. We all want Griezmann. I think he's a fantastic player. I was speaking yesterday about whether I'd pick Bale over Griezmann. I got a lot of stick for that, but Griezmann was my dream summer signing last summer. I didn't think it would happen. He was my dream summer signing. This summer, I think it's realistic, and I still really want him. And I think at Atletico Madrid, he's had to play a certain way, whereas at Manchester United, he will be able to express himself more, have more freedom, and I think you'll see a better Griezmann. The great thing about Griezmann is he's clinical. He is really clinical, and we've not been clinical at our finishing this year. I think he will be an asset to the Premier League and a major asset to Manchester United. I know there are concerns about his physicality, but he's been playing for Atletico Madrid, training with Atletico Madrid day in, day out, and they are a very tough tenacious side. So I wouldn't be too overly concerned about Antoine Griezmann when it came to that. So it would be Belotti and Griezmann for me out of that 4, if that is the 4. I'm a bit concerned. I'm a bit disappointed that is. I mean, it's been leaked quite a lot that he wants 2 strikers from that 4, and whether he gets it or not. It's also been leaked quite a lot that there is a definitive Europa League and Champions League list. If we end up being in the Europa League next year, he's got a list for that. If we end up being in the Champions League, he's got a list for that. But them lists are ready. It's not like, oh, if we're not in the Champions League, it's all or nothing. We're going to get caught short like Liverpool did last year. We do have lists, and I would expect that from Mourinho because he acts very quickly in the transfer market, very decisively. So it's interesting who might be on the Europa League and who might be on the Champions League. Like I said before, I suspect Morata and people like that will be on the Europa League list. And I think this list here of Griezmann, Belotti, Mbappe, Lukaku, probably on the Champions League list. I want Aubameyang to be in there, but that's only because I want Aubameyang to be on there. I don't fully expect him to be on there, if I'm totally honest. But our Eric Bailly player of the day, let me just bring him in here. He is called Bruma, and he plays for Galatasaray. And he's not Scottish. He's Portuguese. Portuguese Bruma. He's 22 years of age. He's 5'8". He is contracted to Galatasaray until 2018, which is very interesting because that would mean that much like Alexis Sanchez, Michael Keane, people like that, they've got 1 year left on the contract, which means something's probably going to happen this year. Interestingly, back in December, Bruma said, oh, it's my dream to play for Jose Mourinho. He's not got that accent either, he's Portuguese. It's my dream to play for Jose Mourinho, and he's currently not training for Galatasaray with a few other players who are very unhappy with their manager. Schneider is one of those players not training as well. So he is unsettled. Does he suit Manchester United? Well, he can play. He's a left-sided player with a right foot. He can play up front. He can play in behind the striker. A lot of you won't have heard of him. Like I say, he's at Galatasaray. He's doing quite well this season. He's very, very fast and he's very skillful. I don't really know loads about him. I haven't watched much of him at all. When I look at this player, I would be looking at whether he is tenacious, whether he's going to track back, because we've got Anthony Martial and that's something he's had to learn under Mourinho. But apparently Mourinho is a fan. So Bruma at Galatasaray is our Eric Bailly player of the day. Keep an eye on him. Go and have a look at him. Might be worthwhile. Might be worthwhile having a look at him. I'd be interested to see. I do believe there will be signings like that, and I think there is a trap that many of us are falling into, and I think I must mention that it's a trap I'm sort of falling into as well. You can get a little bit lazy, or let's just talk about Mbappe again. And I am talking about Mbappe because of that, what I said, this 4-man list, and what Deschamps says. So if there is new news, we will bring people in. It can't just be new people every day. But I want to bring new people in because it won't always be. We won't sign the players that we think we're going to sign. It never happens like that. There will be the Eric Bailly signing. There might be a couple like that. We could go back to Perisic, which we were on about a few weeks ago. There will be signings like that, and that's why on the Transfer Daily I want to bring people in like Bruma, and we'll bring another one in tomorrow. And we were talking about Kieran Tierney yesterday, who was basically probably watched the show and dedicated his future to Celtic, his immediate future, so that's not going to happen. But there will be signings like that, and I do read your comments, and there's some really good lists of people that are putting out sort of players that I've started to have a look at as well, which we can bring in over the summer, because we'll be doing this every day, and I love doing it, and I'm sure you all do as well. So get commenting below, give us your thoughts on today's transfers. Are you happy with that 4? Are you happy with Mbappe and Griezmann and Lukaku and Belotti being the main 4 strikers that we're going for? Would you like somebody else to be coming into that? Do you think we need 2 from that 4? Mourinho certainly does. Give us your thoughts below. Get commenting, give us your thoughts, and yeah, very interested to see what you've got to say. But it's an exciting time. I know it's all speculation. I think some people have not really grabbed the concept of what this is. It's talking transfer news and rumours and giving our thoughts on it. It's not saying it's going to happen. I think some people think it's real life. It is real life, but we're not going to go and sign all these players today, is what I'm trying to say. Please drop a like on the video and support it. Loads of you getting involved. Really enjoying reading all your comments and interacting with that. It's giving us ideas for future shows as well. So drop a like on the video. I'll speak to you all later. Remember, I'm not live at 8:30 tonight. There's a video going up for you this afternoon at 4, and I'll probably be live around 9:30 / 10 o'clock. I'm out for a few beers. It will be an interesting live stream at 9:30. But thanks everybody for watching. I'll speak to you all very soon.